All right, so I think we should get started now. Hey, this is Anu here, and I'm the founder of Swadharani, and we're extremely passionate about what we do and what we are advocating, and what I'm personally advocating is natural living, zero waste lifestyle, and also a more sustainable way of everyday living so that we are able to reduce a negative impact on the environment. So today's live demo video is all about keeping our homes fresh and clean. And homes are something that personal spaces, very personal spaces, and at the same time they mean a lot to us, right? And so I thought, why not share a few tips that I use at home to keep my home fresh and clean. With two dogs, it's a little tough, but yeah, we try our best. But we have moved away from chemical-based products altogether when it comes to home care. And I think it's in our own way, this is our contribution to keeping the environment, our neighboring ecosystems, and the landfills clean. So here you go. I think it's Instagram. We're on Instagram right now, and we're also on YouTube live right now. So hello to everyone on YouTube, and a big hello to everyone on Instagram as well. Okay, so I think when we talk about our homes, and the very first thing that resonates or that attracts us to a home is the smell in the home, or the scent of a home, right? The moment we enter, there's a certain vibe to a home which smells very fresh and fragrant, right? So so I think what we will be doing is today we will be exploring a few recipes on how is it that we can keep our homes fragrant, not just the entire home, but also specific corners fragrant, and our wardrobes fragrant, kitchens, bathroom, different corners, tables fragrant. And it's not just about the fragrance, it's also about the function. So one of the things that we talk about when we talk about sustainability and when we talk about zero waste living is how do we reduce our wastage from the things that we buy, right? Because everything that we buy, it's the product as well as the packaging. So how do we reduce the packaging element of it? And also when we're buying a product, how do we ensure, one, it's non-toxic, and the second is um, what are the different functions that that product can serve? So if we are able, so in other words, a multi-purpose ingredient or a product is what we should go for when we talk about sustainable living. Okay, I'm getting calls as well at the same time. Okay, my video seems to be paused on Instagram, but okay. All right, so let's get started. So all of the ingredients that I'm going to show you here, and I think people on YouTube can already see the table. It's almost full with ingredients right now. And for everyone on Instagram, so here's the table, and here are all of the things, all of the ingredients. Now, the good part about all of these ingredients is that these ingredients are not just used for home care recipes, DIY recipes, but they're also used and can be used for personal care recipes as well. So like I said earlier, whenever we talk about any product, whenever we talk about any ingredients for our recipes, we look for those ingredients which have multiple purpose or which can serve multiple purposes. So it's called the stacking function in permaculture. And so yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so the first recipe that I wanted to share with you today is essentially, all of us love fragranced homes, right? So some of the things that we use in order to keep our homes fragrant are primarily the air freshness. And these air fresheners, we can make them at home, but at the same time, I know that most of us do not have the time, and we look for convenient options. And unfortunately, those convenient options also have some toxic VOCs in them. So without spending too much time on explaining what those are, because there's ample material available online, you can go and research it on your own. But how do we ensure that we have a good air freshener at home that we can use at any time, and also make as much as we want, save on the cost, because we would be reusing the same ingredients for different things, and at the same time customize it to our own liking, right? So let's see. So the first, so one of the, let me just quickly talk about the star ingredients first of all. So most of the recipes call for very specific ingredients, and those ingredients can be used for different things. So one is your pure water. So when I say pure water, it's essentially distilled water. We can use regular water as well, but I would suggest using distilled water. It's primarily because we don't know where we live, right? And the water mostly is hard water. And hard water can actually leave stains, the white, rings and stains after use. So we want to avoid that. And therefore, I would suggest that whenever you're shopping for your DIY recipes, and in bulk, of course, you go for distilled water to create your own recipes. And the distilled water can not just be used for recipes which are about fragrance, about air fresheners, and so on, but also for your personal care recipes, and it can be used for cleaning as well, for cleaning purposes, not just for freshening, but also cleaning. So one is that. The second is you can opt for floral waters. Floral waters are essentially extracts or a specific way of getting the fragrance or the properties of flowers and herbs, not in the oil format but in water format. And I specifically like the witch hazel floral water because it's astringenty, and it's slightly more in its texture and form. It's astringent, which is very close to rubbing alcohol, not exactly rubbing alcohol, but close to it. So whenever I use an essential oil with it, it's easier to disperse the essential oil in witch hazel water than in any other water. Another one that we can use is rose water. It's very commonly available. So we can use rose water. We can also make our own floral waters at home. If not floral water, we can also make we can make waters of citrus peels, if you like that lemony or rosemary, you can actually do that. And maybe we'll have another one just to show you how to make floral waters at home. But today I will be going with witch hazel water. The other is vinegar. Now there are different forms of vinegar available in the market. I'm going for the natural vinegar today. It's the apple cider vinegar. You can also go for the white vinegar. So if a white vinegar doesn't stain and therefore is more preferred, plus it's cheaper, you can buy it in bulk and can keep it. It's not just useful for the freshening and the cleaning, but it's a very good conditioner as well. So it's also used for clothes. So once you've washed your clothes in the washing machine with your natural laundry powder, you can just add 2 tablespoons of vinegar with your favorite essential oil and give it a spin. And that's it. It acts as a beautiful fabric conditioner with your favorite fragrance. So yeah, for today, I will be using apple cider vinegar. Also, another star ingredient is the baking soda. Baking soda, yay, go baking soda. Again, useful for home as well as personal care. Then the other is arrowroot powder. Arrowroot powder is essentially your tapioca powder. Extremely multifunctional. It's wonderful. It's a thickener. It can be used as a thickening agent. It can be used, in the powdered form. Extremely flexible with your recipes, and it's a beautiful. It adds volume to whatever you're making, and at the same time, added with baking soda, it gives a nice dispersing ability to whatever you're making at home. Then, of course, There are essential oils. So as you can see, I have like loads of essential oils. And these essential oils, the typical essential oils shelf life is about 18 to 24 months. And just go for 10 ml. You wouldn't need more than that. And you go for a lot of them, your favorite ones. And they really last, right? And again, you can just use them for different things. Another is herbs. So don't throw away your herbs. Okay, so if you have things like rosemary or basil or any of that, just keep saving it. Like, so this is rosemary. Rosemary is very versatile. It can be used for various recipes. I use it for personal care as well as for home care. You can infuse vinegar with rosemary. You can infuse the waters with rosemary, and you can boil the water with rosemary. And it's just absolutely fabulous. Another is don't throw away these little gems. These what do you say? Clay items from home. If anything breaks, just don't throw it away. Keep it. I'll tell you why. Just keep it handy and keep it in one place. And they're absolutely wonderful. They play a very, they're the cheapest option and the most wonderful option to create fragrance spaces in the house. We'll see how. All right, so the first recipe, for the first recipe, I'm going to make air freshener. And it will be in the spray bottle. So the spray bottle, you can use any spray bottle. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to buy a new one. Just empty another old one. And if you have a glass one, it's absolutely wonderful. I know the breakage happens, but just go for a spray bottle. Then a lot of the recipes also call for vodka, right? So if you do not have a so that's interesting. So if you do not have witch hazel, just go for vodka. Because vodka helps. So when you're mixing the essential oils with water, it doesn't mix, right? It's just separated because it's oil and water. So vodka actually helps to mix the two well. And if you do not have that, you do not have vodka, then go for an astringent tea, floral water. So that's why I'm going for witch hazel, because I do not have vodka today. But you can absolutely replace vodka if you do not have witch hazel water. Okay, so the first recipe, I'm going to take the witch hazel water. So it's about 2.5 to 2 tablespoons witch hazel water. I'm not going to make a lot of quantity of it, but I'm going to keep it simple and small. Then so it's 1 part or 2 tablespoons vodka or witch hazel floral water. Then I'm going to add distilled water to it. So the distilled water can be a little more. So it can be about half a cup. And then I'm going to add just one of my favorite essential oils to it. So here I'm using a lavender because it's nice and so when you're adding your essential oil, depending on the quantity, so of course when you're using it for personal care, you can't add too much of it, but for home care, it's fine. So here I'm going to add about 25 to 30 drops of lavender oil. You can also make your own mix. So let's say, for example, if instead of just for relaxing purposes, you want to make it for what do you say, to keep the insects and the mosquitoes and everything away, then you can just add citronella oil or lemongrass oil, or you can add clove oil or cinnamon oil, because mosquitoes and insects, they do not like very strong smell, so that keeps them away. So just give it a good stir. And that's about it. You fill this in your bottle. Most of it's falling off. And there you go. It's ready to be. Give it a nice shake. And that's all. Just sprinkle it. Nice, that's it, right? And if you're looking at, so this is for the rooms, right? But if you're looking at making something for your bed linen, then you may want to increase the amount of your floral water, and also the amount of vodka. That's because vodka evaporates quickly, and plus helps with the dispersion of the oil better. So you can increase the quantity of your vodka in it. So, and you can reduce the amount of your distilled water in it, and increase the amount of floral water in it. And that's it. You can use the same recipe for your bed linens as well. If you want your beds to smell nice and fragrant, you can use it for that also. Just sprinkle it on the top of the bed linen, and that's it. So that's the first recipe. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it smells really nice. I can smell lavender right now here. Okay, so that's the first recipe. Simple, right? Absolutely simple. And you can use it for corners, you can use it for bathrooms, you can just play around with it, right? So that's the first recipe. The second recipe is, what do you say? Yeah, so it's for bathrooms specifically and for the cupboards. And this is something that I've talked about before as well. And it's one of the most amazing recipes, that I've developed. And I've been using it for more than, a couple of years now, and it has not failed me. What you will need is essentially your camphor crystals. So this is Sudharani's camphor crystals, and so this is Bhimseni Kapoor, which is your authentic Kapoor. So, and here's the difference, right? So I'll just show you how the camphor crystals look like. So these are the camphor crystals, you see. So they're just crystals and then broken into smaller pieces versus crystal camphor pellets like these, right? So you get those round ones and you get those different shapes. So these are most likely processed camphor. So I'm not asking you to use this one, but I'm asking you to use Bhimseni Kapoor, get your hands on it. And it's the most natural, or the most closest form to natural camphor. So camphor actually comes from a tree. It comes from the bark of a tree, the camphor tree, and it's an indigenous variety. So go local. Okay, so camphor. All you need is camphor. You need, if you have, nice cotton cloth or muslin cloth at home, you can get these small pouches made. I've got a lot of these pouches. They really help me when I'm using them with soap nuts. So I just put some soap nuts in it, just, close it, and I put it in water for boiling. Then I can also, whatever is remaining, then I just toss it into the washing machine, and that becomes like the laundry cleaner. And also I use these pouches for infusing spices in any of the cooked food. So these are excellent and very handy pouches. Just make sure that you're not using a bleached cloth, or else something which is absolutely worn out, and soft cotton, and something which is not very tight. The knit should not be very tight, otherwise the dispersing of the fragrance will not be very strong. So what you do is you add some of the camphor crystals in the pouch. The best part about this option is that, it's completely reusable. You just keep using it again and again. I mean, you will just get tired of it, but it won't go anywhere. You just need to keep refilling stuff in it, and it works wonders. And I think for any zero waster, any person who's looking at reducing their waste, the material is cotton or mull. So it's very soft cotton, and not very tightly knit, but some, loosely knit cotton cloth. And then once you've, so like I said, any zero waster, I think this is one of the recipes to go for. So you add camphor crystals, and then if you have potpourri at home, brilliant. If you don't have potpourri, you can use bay leaf, right? Easily available in the kitchen, bay leaf, or else you can use cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks are excellent insect repellents. So you can use cinnamon sticks. You can take like a handful or less, depending on how big your pouch is, cinnamon sticks, and add it to the pouch. Add it to the pouch here. And then you just need your, again, one of your very favorite essential oil. So I'll be going with a geranium essential oil. I love geranium, and especially because it comes from the Sahyadri. There's a lot of geranium that's grown here. So you can pick a natural scent which is closer home, something which is local. So you just add the essential oil to the pouch. So just make sure that the essential oil is not leaking out everywhere else, but it's going directly on the cinnamon sticks or the potpourri or whatever that you're using. Okay, so there goes my geranium. And I'm going to add maybe just one more fragrance. Maybe I'll just add like a lemongrass. No, let's see, frankincense. Let's add some frankincense to it. Okay, so you add that, and voila, it is ready. That's it. You make this knot and you hang it in your bathroom, or you can hang it in your wardrobe. And now the camphor slowly, it disperses. The camphor crystals, right? After a few months, you would not see any of it left. So you'll have to refill the pouch, but your cinnamon sticks will stay. But the essential oil fragrance may go away. So you can just add more essential oil to it. And that's it. I mean, it's completely reusable, zero waste option. And it keeps the moth away, the insects away from the cupboards, because camphor is a natural deodorizer. It has function, and it is also insect repelling. And also the essential oil that you use also acts as, whichever, for not just for fragrance, but also for function as well. So that's what is beautiful about it. In case you cannot, another thing is, in case you cannot make this at home, or if you do not have the time, we have it available on our store, www.switharani.com. So you can order one kit for yourself. So it's a DIY kit that we're making available on our platform. And you can just order it from there along with your favorite essential oil. Or if you have essential oils at home, or if you have a pouch at home, you can just simply order the refills, which is the camphor and the essential oil. And yeah, you can get started, and it's a one-time investment that you can keep using over and over and over. So that was the second option. I'm already, oh, I can smell it. It's lovely. Okay, so that was the second one. The other one is also camphor related. I mean, if you don't want to use this as a pouch, it's always a good idea to keep Bhimseni Kapoor. It is said that it has a very purifying effect on your natural environment as well. So maybe if you have a nice bowl or something, you can just add, keep the camphor crystals at the entrance of your home. If you have a lobby or somewhere at the entrance, just the camphor crystals, and it just keeps emanating that camphory smell when you enter the house, and you can add some potpourri to it, and you can do it for your entrance as well without the pouch. Okay, so that was the second recipe. The third one is, you can also make your corners fragrant, right? By using pine cone. So if you have pine cone at home, a lot of us travel to the mountains and the hills. So pine cones are easily available. You can just pick it up from there, bring it back home. And again, you can just add, your favorite essential oil, a few drops of it. And you can make like a collection of it, or just one simple pine cone should also do. And you can keep it in any corner, in your bathroom, on your desk. You can keep it at the entrance. You can keep it on your kitchen counter, anywhere you feel like. And it just keeps leaving out these wonderful fragrances. And also, I keep saying essential oil because essential oil is not just about the fragrance. It's also about the function, right? It has certain properties, antibacterial properties, deodorizing properties, and so on. So just go ahead and invest in some essential oils. Okay, so that was the third option. The other option is, this is something that I think all of us, I think we've grown up with this, most of us, which is the sambrani at home. So you get these really nice coal cones now in the stores. And if you can't get them at the store, it's fine. You can make your own at home, or else you can take like coconut husk or coconut coir, and you can light it up, and you can put some real frankincense raisins. Okay, so this is the dhoop raisin. So this is the original dhoop raisin that you get in, that you can find in the market. Just crush it a little, keep it handy, just make a powder of it, and then just sprinkle on burnt coir, or while it's still on, or the coal, or the charcoal, and you can just take it around the house and keep it in one corner. It has purifying effects, and at the same time it smells wonderful, right? So this is another option that you can do, and all of this can be made at home. You just need to invest in the frankincense raisins, and this also comes from a tree. And I bought mine from the Last Forest, which is an NGO that works with the tribals in the Nilgiris in Tamil Nadu. So I got these from there. So they're very authentic, they're beautiful, and they smell lovely as well. Okay, then another one is for flies. So while the camphor and the pouch keeps the flies away as well, but you must have seen when you go to restaurants, you see these, right? Has anyone seen this one? So lemon with a lot of cloves in it. So I was just reading, it got me curious as to why would anyone keep this, right? It's such a small, tiny thing. But apparently, if you make this and if you keep it on your kitchen table or anywhere that you're eating food, it keeps the flies away. And it actually works, and it smells great. It may not have a very strong smell, but it has a certain lingering effect. So for your tables, especially for your kitchen, or for your dining tables especially, so you can just cut a lemon, and there's a difference in lime and lemon. The lime is the green one, so that is more fragrant. So if you can catch hold of that, you can get your hands on it, then get lime. Otherwise, lemon will also do. And then you just take these cloves and you just push them in like this, as many as you want, right? And that's it. You just keep it on the desk or your table. Whenever you feel that there are too many flies happening around, just put this, and the clove, it's the clove's fragrance, and the subtle lime smell, which emanates and ensures that the flies are away. So this is another way of keeping your the flies away from home. Okay. Now comes another, which is a lot of us have rugs at home, right? And especially if you have dogs, or especially if you live in a space where there's not much sunlight, so it's difficult to keep the misty smell in the rugs, right? So how do you deal with that? So for that, what you need is I think we all know of this recipe. I have a feeling that most of us actually know of this recipe, but I'm not sure if we're using it as much, right? But anyway, I'll just go through it. So in 1:2 ratio, we need we need arrowroot powder and baking soda. So your 1 part is arrowroot powder. So I'm just going to take 2 tablespoons for now for the demo purpose. And we need 2 parts baking soda. So here I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of baking soda. Is it 4 or 3? Yeah, 1 more. Lost count. And then you add your favorite, again, 1 more essential oil. So I'm going to add some bergamot here. Some nice between 15 and 20 drops of essential oil. And then you give it a nice stir. Oh, smells nice. And you can use this particular recipe not just for the rugs or the carpets, but you can actually just fill this in a jar and keep the lid open, and slowly the baking soda and the arrowroot powder infused with the essential oil, it just gradually keeps emanating the smell. And baking soda is a deodorizer. It's a natural deodorizer, so it keeps the environment fresh as well. So you can use it in your bathrooms, you can use it in your wardrobes, and you can use it also in the middle of a living room. You can just keep the bowl without the lid, and it works wonders. So anyway, so once this is done, mixed nicely, then you will need like a nice, so I'm using my baking sprinkler, you know, I use it for sprinkling ice, what do you say? Icing sugar, yeah, oh my God. Yeah, icing sugar, but here I'm going to use it for, to clean my rugs. I'm being very clunky right now. If you see my desk, it's all dirty right now. So you just add this here, give it a nice shake, and then, yeah, just, okay. You can also use, you know, I'm sure you must be getting these bottles, right, with the seasoning, the pizza seasoning and the Italian seasoning or any herbs. And on the top, you have these kind of openings. So the masalas and everything that you get this with these holes, right? You can save a couple of these bottles for these purposes. And these can be good way of sprinkling. So if you don't have the sprinkler, you just go ahead and use that bottle. So yeah, so you just do this and then you sprinkle on the carpet, leave it for about 15 to 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how dirty or how smelly it is. And because it's got baking soda in it, it's a deodorizer. It kind of, you know, pulls in all of the moisture, the mist in it. And the essential oil, I've used bergamot in it. It kind of gives a very nice fragrance to the carpet. And the arrowroot powder is very good for, you know, spreading. It helps with the spread out. So that's why and the volume. So that's why we've added arrowroot powder here. And it's very neutral as well. And then you just sprinkle it, and then you vacuum clean it off. All right. So you just vacuum clean it off, or else you take a cloth, you know, and then you wet the cloth. Do not put water on the carpet, but just wet the cloth and then wipe it off nicely. If you do not have a vacuum cleaner at home, that's fine. But if you have a vacuum cleaner, just vacuum clean the carpet and that's it. I mean, your carpet is nice and fragrant again. So try this recipe and tell me how it works for you. Okay, and that was the next one. Like I said, you can use this recipe for, you know, you can just keep it in the middle of the room and just forget about it. And you will see that there's a certain difference in how that particular area smells. Okay, then the other option is this. Remember I talked about do not throw away your clay stuff. You know, if you have the terracotta, you know, items, and if any of it is broken, even if it's not broken, you can make use of, you know, these days you get these with incense cones, right? This terracotta little thing. Don't throw it off, right? Once the cones are over, you can use it for the cone, as well as you can use it to disperse your essential oils very gradually in your home. So all you need to do is put like a couple of drops. There's somebody at home, so the bell's ringing and I can't get up. Sorry. So you just put a few drops, and then that's it. That's all. And you can keep it on your desk. A lot of, you know, all of us are working from home these days. Very few of us going to work these days, right? How about making our own desks fragrant? So this is a very, very simple way of keeping a fragrant desk or a very fragrant environment around you while you're working. If you're very stressed at work, go for lavender oil. If you're, you know, very flyy kind of a place, then go for rosemary. Rosemary keeps the insects away. So you can pick and choose what you want. If you want a nice citrusy, you know, that's your kind, then go for bergamot. So again, just a very simple way, just put a few drops and you will see that, you know, it just gradually keeps emanating. And this works for about 5 to, mine, I think, depending on the fragrance as well. What I've seen is that it works very well and lasts very long with stronger fragrances, you know, which are very condensed, like rose or rosemary. And if you're using a lemongrass or a citronella, which are slightly less, you know, you need more of the concentrate in order to get the same effect. It works, you need to refill it more often. So try it out how it is. It's a very simple and it's a zero waste option, right? I mean, instead of throwing, you're actually reusing something. So do that, see how it goes, and share your comments. The video will be available later as well. Am I forgetting anything? I think so. One more thing, which is one of the things that started using early on is a diffuser. You can actually make your own diffuser oil. So this is a diffuser. You can actually add a candle at the back, and most of us actually have it, and we've started using it quite a bit, and it's available in different forms, right? If you don't want the candle, you have those reeds that come in, and then you just put the reeds, and there is a diffuser oil in a small pot, and you put the reed sticks in it. So so instead of using a candle, let's say, I've started making candles. I refill this with beeswax candle at home now, and I use your regular, bati from the puja batis in order to make it. You can also do that in case you have these cases and you don't want to throw them away. Just get some beeswax, and you can make your own candles, or else you can also do the diyas. We have the small clay diyas. Just put it in, using the oil clay diyas. Simple. We don't need candles for it. And then just put essential oils on top, and that's it. What I do is, and what works really well for our home is because we have a lot of open space in our home. Is we add some camphor. I add some camphor crystals, and then I put some essential oil on top. So what happens is the camphor crystals mixed with the essential oil gives a very nice fragrance, and it is very therapeutic as well. So you can try that out. You can make your own, you can mix and match of what you want to do. In case you do not have a diffuser like this with the candle, you can make your own reed oil, which is by baby oil or a natural or a very thin carrier oil. For instance, you can use an argan oil or coconut oil, whatever. So best is a baby oil, like the Johnson & Johnson baby oil that you get in the market. So you take the baby oil and you add essential oils to it, lots of essential oils to it, and not lots, but 25 to 30 drops of essential oils to it, and then you put your reed sticks in it, and that's all. You don't need to do much, and there you go. You can make your own diffuser oil at home. Yeah, well, these were some of the options. Anything else on my table that I'm forgetting to show you or share with you? Well, I don't think so. Any questions? Yeah, another one is, like I said, the herbs. Don't throw those. Yeah, one more, which is using the bioenzyme. I was reading that, now it is proven now that when it comes to ceramic surfaces or non-steel, except steel surfaces, with other surfaces, a vinegar is more effective when it comes to dealing with certain bacteria and E. coli than your even disinfectants, your store-bought disinfectants. So go ahead, that's good news, right, for DIY and zero wasters, because I think a lot of us have now started making bioenzymes at home. And this is my last batch of bioenzyme. It is a lemon, orange, and soap nut bioenzyme. So one of a very good surface cleaner that can be made with bioenzyme is that in the bioenzyme, and also commode cleaner, toilet cleaner, ceramic cleaner is to the same bioenzyme, you can add essential oils. And a lot of us are not very comfortable with the smell of vinegar or bioenzymes, right? Because it's got a very pungenty smell to it. So just add essential oils to it to mask that smell. Also, another thing is tea tree oil is a beautiful alternative or a beautiful way of disinfecting surfaces. So put essential oil in your bioenzyme or your vinegar, and you can use it as a surface cleaner. When you're doing it as a surface cleaner, just add it to a bottle like this, like a spray bottle. Do not put it directly on the surface, but put it on a cloth first and then wipe with the cloth. That's the best way of using this. But if you're adding it to a toilet cleaner or ceramic surface, then you may want to use the spray, leave it for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then scrub or clean the surface. So yeah, so that was another one. We will, if you want, we can do one video just talking about bioenzymes and how to make those bioenzymes at home. You can also infuse your vinegar with herbs. You can do a basil herb, you can do rosemary herb, you can just infuse it. When I say infuse, it means that you just drop a few of the, the herbs, the leaves, the dry leaves in vinegar, and leave it for about 1 to 2 weeks, and just strain it out, and that's it. You can use that. So yeah, that's that. So do we have any questions? Anybody watching? Okay. All right then. So I hope you enjoyed this little demo session, and you have some things to take back with you. Enjoy fragrant and natural homes. Bye bye.